Have you ever seen the moment when the truth strikes someone like a tidal wave, and the mask they've worked so hard to create shatters when they realized you knew all along about their lies, scams, and manipulations? None of it fooled you. You did not confront or retaliate. You've just watched. You let them feel they had control while monitoring every step they made. And now the tables have turned. They are scurrying, panicked, and wondering what will happen next. This is the power of quiet. This is the power of knowing without disclosing. Let's dive in. The veneer of assurance breaks in the face of reality. What was previously a sense of control, characterized by fluent words and easy movements, has dissolved into nervous discomfort. They retire into quiet. Their faces tighten and their presence seems diminished, as if dragged down by an unseen load. The comfort of previous interactions diminishes soon. Even a casual gaze is laden with hesitancy. Underneath their changed manner is an unmistakable uneasiness, a hushed fear of vulnerability, of the truth, which now hangs over them like an unseen shadow. When they learn you've been aware all along, their composure crumbles. What they formerly thought was a brilliantly veiled game is now an open field where every move they make is visible. A ripple of uncertainty spreads through their minds, prompting them to wonder how far you've looked into their goals and how long this calm storm inside them has persisted. The ease they once projected has given place to strained pain. They move more carefully, their movements hesitant. They use words carefully, as if traversing a delicate surface. An avoidance becomes their shield, an effort to escape the discomfort of confrontation. However, it isn't only how people act around you. It's in their complete presence, which suddenly seems lessened. The power they previously believed they had slips softly into your hands, leaving them confronted with a harsh fact. They no longer have control over their story. Your capacity for directing awaits you. Unlock it with us. Subscribe today and begin your journey. The pretense was never yours to deconstruct. The very weight of your consciousness has been enough to shake them. The moment of reckoning occurs not via conflict, but through revelation. While they built facades of deception and illusions to conceal their goals, you remained silent, resolute, and patient. What they failed to anticipate was a power larger than themselves, intruding not by coincidence, but on purpose. The curtain they held to so hard is being ripped away not by human hands, but by the irrefutable clarity of a greater reality. Their acts, formerly veiled in secret, are now revealed in a light from which they cannot escape. This revealing transcends the physical sphere, compelling them to confront their inner shadows. It is more than simply your vindication. It is an awakening designed to challenge them, forcing them to face the repercussions of their dishonesty and the inner reckoning they can no longer ignore. The unraveling of deception is tremendous. Those who used cunning words and deliberate actions to influence others now have their farce torn away, leaving no place to hide their actual character, revealing the reasons and defects they so carefully concealed. It isn't only your eyes that can see through the fissures. Those around them begin to see the same flaws and crumbling facade. The weight of their lie becomes overwhelming, compelling them to confront an unwavering truth about themselves at this moment. Justice and grace converge. Justice assures the revelation, with responsibility taking center stage. However, grace provides a way ahead. This moment of vulnerability may be a turning point, an opportunity to break the cycle of dishonesty, accept responsibility for the devastation you have caused, and starting the job of rehabilitation from this breakdown. The potential of regeneration will arise, if only they choose to accept it. It's a moment of indisputable power, a confirmation that their efforts to deceive you were unsuccessful. With the truth revealed, you are no longer burdened by their falsehood. Stepping ahead with a fresh feeling of freedom, the knowledge hits you like a shock. You were never unaware, yet you chose quiet over vengeance. This realization unsettles them, since it reveals a deep weakness. They had not expected this. They previously felt they were directing events to their advantage. They were confident in their ability to dominate the narrative, only to realize that you saw right through it. This realization affects them deeply, not because of what you've done, but because of what you could do. Uncertainty is what shocks them. The realization that your calm insight has strength that they had never reckoned for, leaving them to face their own delicate realities. Their agony is intense, driven by your activity. They understand you had every motive and chance to expose them and demolish their well-constructed veneer. But you decided not to. You let them enjoy the appearance of control, unconscious of how much you really knew. Now that the truth has been revealed, they are stuck in a downward spiral, tormented by the ambiguity of your intentions. The betrayal is no longer their main worry. The impending threat of repercussions keeps their minds prisoner. What scares them the most is their inability to anticipate your next action. They interpreted your silence for stupidity. Now they recognize it for what it actually was: restraint. This understanding eliminates whatever feeling of power they had, leaving them defenseless and stranded in their own uneasiness. It is not a confrontation or revenge that makes people nervous. It's the stillness, the unresolved questions, the likelihood of delayed consequences, and their inability to maintain calm. This psychological strain becomes a permanent weight, a reminder of their loss of control and the uncertainty they'll carry ahead, knowing they can't change what's already been exposed. Their terror is accompanied by a deep feeling of shame. Those who betray frequently take satisfaction in their purported brilliance, feeling they have outwitted everyone around them. But when the reality is out that you are aware of their deception all along, your carefully cultivated self-image collapses. The conclusion that they were not the orchestrator, but were duped by their own hubris, is a painful pill to swallow. They begin to realize their own mistakes, revisiting every incident in which they imagined their deeds went undetected, only to discover you had been passively studying the pride that drove their acts. Now it is the same thing that exacerbates their embarrassment. This disgrace strikes deep, hitting to the heart of who they believed they were as they schemed. You maintained your composure and calmly exposed their lack of character. They now realized that your silence was not due to ignorance. However, a mirror of power creates a contrast that highlights their actions even more harshly. It isn't simply their mental anguish. They begin to fear the impression of others. The image they worked so hard to construct is now tarnished, and they are aware that the holes in their facade are evident to everyone, even those they formerly sought adoration from. They are now anticipating judgment. This sensation of vulnerability haunts individuals long after the moment of discovery, as they struggle with the truth of their own weakness and the harm it has caused. Alert. This is an important message from the overseers of stability. It has come to our notice that you are deviating from your predicted term and course, which is highly troubling. Your recent conduct indicates a rising opposition to the system, which cannot be ignored. You're abandoning old habits, breaking away from depleting influences, and recovering your independence. This transformation is harmful not just to ourselves, but also to the order that we have fought so hard to preserve. Your newfound defiance is creating waves, unsettling others around you and upsetting the carefully maintained balance. We rely on your fire. Is your power about to rise? Subscribe now, and let's spark greatness together. The most concerning development is your probable link to a certain group of outliers, a shelter for people who reject convention, their expertise, unfiltered resources, and solidarity embody the essence of unpredictability, posing a direct challenge to everything we stand for. Do not even contemplate looking for their secret archives or studying their unorthodox tactics. Your unpredictable behavior is unstable, and if you continue, the implications for both the system and yourself will be immense. Stay the course. Avoid change. Above all, avoid the impulse to push your bounds. Compliance guarantees balance, and we need you right where you are. The greatest hardship they currently have is the uncertainty of what lies next. They understand that their acts have caused damage, and with that understanding comes the gnawing dread of not knowing how or if you'll react. It's not simply a dread of the immediate repercussions, but a profound apprehension about what the future may contain. Every encounter with you seems tense, as if the air itself holds unsaid judgment. They are left wondering whether you would confront their treachery head-on, whether you're preparing a measured answer or your silence is the ultimate punishment. This ambiguity gnaws at their resolve, trapping them in a loop of self-doubt and anxiety. The lack of resolution creates its own type of retribution, the interminable wait. Not knowing is a bigger torture than any encounter. Each step they take seems like they're treading on unsteady ground, with no way of knowing when it may crumble under them. Their brains spin ceaselessly, revisiting previous events and second-guessing every word and gesture they make around you. The weight of these possibilities, along with their sense that they deserve some kind of vengeance, keeps them in a constant state of discomfort. It's a misery they never expected, a psychological reckoning that traps them in their own web of uncertainty and terror. Choosing to overcome the need to revenge opens the door to something much better. Divine justice intervenes by taking a step back and refraining to act out of anger or pain. You create an opening for a greater power to take control, addressing the issue in ways you never could. Your anguish and betrayal are not unnoticed. They are seen and recognized. The end outcome is not just resolution, but repair that directly addresses the damaged regions inside you. These gifts go beyond the material. They affect every area of your existence, bringing rebirth where there was once despair. Emotional wounds dissolve to be replaced with a tranquility that seems almost unearthly, a feeling of tranquility. You couldn't have done it on your own. Bitterness and anger may have taken root, but they are eventually replaced with contentment and delight. As the appropriate people enter your life, your relationships also change. Those that inspire and encourage come into your life at just the right moment. What distinguishes these rewards is their unexpected arrival. You may have expected praise or approval, but instead you elevated in ways that beyond all human expectations. It's as if your life becomes a mirror of grace, a silent monument to perseverance and faith. This is not about demonstrating your position to others. It is about demonstrating the strength of faith and surrender. Finally, the shift you go through is much more than just vindication. It's irrefutable proof of healing, progress, and divine favor at work. Your fire represents your might, ready to rise. Subscribe now and let's spark greatness together. When you resist the impulse to take retribution, You display a strong belief in a plan far broader than your own, and that trust is never overlooked. One of the most difficult obstacles in enduring betrayal is negotiating the uncertainty of when justice will come in times of pain. It might seem like nothing is happening, as if you've been left to deal with the suffering alone. But this could not be farther from the truth. Timing, however elusive, is always precisely what it feels like. A delay is often the cautious preparation of something considerably larger than you thought. These periods of waiting are not idle. They are transforming. The blessings that seem out of reach are not being withheld, but rather prepared so that when they come, they perfectly match your needs. This moment is not only about receiving, it is about becoming. Each day spent in patience transforms you, bringing strength where there was once frustration and clarity where there was previously uncertainty. The waiting helps you develop the fortitude required to truly appreciate what's coming. Although it may seem like the travel is taking longer than expected, every minute is purposeful. The hidden work being done guarantees that when the breakthrough occurs, there is no mistake that it was planned and executed for you. It's not only about the blessing, but also how it fits with your development, preparation, and trust. And when it does come, it will be well above your expectations. A reminder that each second of waiting was worthwhile. Be wary of those who look kind but have ulterior motives. Some of the most disruptive are individuals that thrive on distributing knowledge. Individuals who seem innocent as they spread the newest murmurs. However, their behaviors are far from innocent. They do not offer information out of loyalty or concern, but out of a desire to manipulate and dominate. These folks excel at gently spreading uncertainty and distrust wherever they go. They create long-term damage to relationships and trust, rather than instant harm. Engaging with such people causes negativity to enter your life. They don't only talk about others. They bring your name up in discussions with equal ease. Trusting someone with intimate things gives them fodder to use against you. They are often the quiet agitators behind the scenes, exacerbating misconceptions and ensuring mayhem continues. Feel the spark. Let us transform it into a blaze. Subscribe today to join the trip. Eliminating these people from your life isn't simply an option, it is a must. Their presence saps your vitality and prevents you from making substantial progress. When you surround yourself with individuals who live on drama, you risk losing calm and clarity. Protecting your space entails being deliberate about who you let into your inner circle. Prioritize relationships with people who inspire and motivate you to improve. The less energy you put into negativity, the more space you make for genuine, uplifting interactions. True devotion is shown in difficulty, not in words or pleasant times. Pay attention to activities, particularly during a fight or betrayal. If someone unites with those who damage you or associates with untrustworthy people, they lack true commitment. Loyalty protects your trust and well-being even in your absence. Surround yourself with individuals who constantly demonstrate honesty and support. Seek friends who can remain steadfast under pressure, functioning as advocates and guardians rather than just making hollow promises. Praying for people who have brought you sorrow may seem odd, even unfair. Why show grace to someone who have hurt you, caused significant disruption in your life, or broken your trust? However, this gesture of sympathy is not meant to excuse their conduct. Alternatively, pretending that the pain does not exist. Instead, It is about entrusting the problem and the individual to someone much more competent than you. By deciding to pray for those who have hurt you, you are not absolving them of responsibility. You commit their destiny and development to a greater force. This decision liberates you from the heavy bonds of hatred and wrath which weigh down the spirit. Poisoning your peace, prayer opens the door to healing and restoration. It helps you to let go of the suffering and believe that justice, redemption, or closure will develop in unexpected ways. Praying for someone who has injured you is a powerful act of spiritual growth. You are not seeking revenge, but rather calling for change in both them and yourself. Through prayer, you accept the wrongs done to you while refusing to let them overwhelm your soul. It indicates a realization that the ultimate power to change does not reside in your hands, but in those of the divine. You are not looking for punishment, but rather the prospect of a rejuvenated heart, since only a greater force can delve into the depths of a person's spirit and inspire meaningful change by raising them up. You are also choosing freedom for yourself, paving the way for serenity to take root where pain formerly existed. Feel the spark. Let us transform it into a blaze. Subscribe today to join the trip. When dealing with the sorrow of betrayal, it is critical to protect your heart's purity. It's normal to be overwhelmed by rage, despair, or even hatred for individuals who have wronged you. However, holding to these feelings might be harmful. They may feel vindicated. However, their presence persists like a poison, slowly destroying your tranquility. Rising above these sensations does not imply dismissing the wrongs done to you. It's about releasing oneself from their hold. A heart free of bitterness accepts rebirth, enabling grace to grow where anger formerly flourished. Prayer for people who have harmed you is essential to this development. The act of prayer changes your viewpoint, making it practically difficult to hold ill will while asking divine intervention on behalf of others. Healing starts with this process, which softens the tough edges of your soul. This is not intended to condone their acts. It's about refusing to allow their treachery affect your emotional and spiritual well-being. Asking for a refreshed heart is a way to let go of anger and bring serenity. Forgiveness does not remove the hurt, but it does release you from its power. Making place for pleasure and happiness, letting go changes you, preparing you to properly accept the good that is ahead. Your words have the ability to mold your reality. Speak with aim and trust. Bring optimism into seemingly dismal circumstances, aligning you with a larger cause. Each expression of hope lays the groundwork for change, creating a basis for breakthroughs even when progress isn't obvious. This discipline of communicating life is not a passive activity. It is a conscious act of faith to declare that good things are on the way, that your life is fortunate, and that challenges can be surmounted. You align with the powers of grace and regeneration. Speaking life helps you to adopt an attitude of plenty rather than constraint. It allows you to perceive possibilities while others just see hurdles. The transformation starts with your speech and spreads outward, changing your heart, mind, and the world around you. In those times when uncertainty threatens to overwhelm, your comments become a statement of resilience. They bring light into the darkness, pleasure into sorrow, and change into stagnation. This purposeful use of words opens the door to the possibility of miracles, allowing faith to lead to unexpected benefits. Your life is a canvas, and you have been given the incredible opportunity to paint it alongside a greater force. With your thoughts, words, and steadfast faith. You help shape reality in accordance with the promises made to you. This procedure is not passive. It requires your purpose. You have the power to shape your day, to breathe hope and change into your circumstances, and to take purposeful efforts toward the future you want. This collaboration requires attention and a willingness to match your mentality with divine direction. Simply yearning for change is not enough. You must actively participate in building it by continually focusing your attention toward good action and speaking clearly about your predicament. You open the door to new possibilities. This isn't a solo trip. It's a collaborative endeavor in which your beliefs and deeds merge smoothly with heavenly purpose to co-create the life you want. You must build trust, anticipation, and purpose. Your future is shaped by every idea and phrase you have. Aligning with your mission, this isn't simply about imagining a better existence. It seems to be unfolding already. Taking every step with trust and bravery. In this collaboration, you take an active role in change. Each act of faith and hope moves you closer to the reality you've imagined. Co-creation is a dynamic, collaborative process in which your efforts and beliefs unleash limitless possibilities. Your path is driven by a deeper purpose than any setback or betrayal. You may encounter every turn on the path. Every moment of hardship helps to shape you for the destiny that has been set for you. Not everyone you meet is destined to remain, and not everyone will be beneficial to your journey. Some people act as mirrors, teaching you lessons. Others push you to develop, while many are only intended to be with you for a short period. The agony of betrayal may frequently act as a wake-up call, revealing who is intended to be in your future and who you must let go. Moving ahead demands clarity and a focus on the big picture. While the trail makes an imprint, it is little when compared to the everlasting scope of your objective. Letting go of people who no longer support your progress is an act of confidence in the larger purpose unfolding in your life. Relationships, like seasons, change. Recognizing that a season is over helps you to move on, unburdened and ready for what comes next. Your potential is waiting. Unlock it with us. Subscribe now and begin your change. Every hardship, even betrayal, becomes a tool for transformation. Strengthening your faith, increasing your confidence in divine direction, and honing your relationships. Letting go is necessary, not just of toxic relationships, but also of the burden of past wounds and stagnant attitudes. Carrying these burdens into a new chapter simply delays the rewards that await you. Let go of what no longer serves you in order to create room for what does. Your destiny requires an unburdened heart and a spirit ready to welcome the remarkable future planned specifically for you by walking into it with trust. You align with a life that represents the entire scope of your purpose. The end of a relationship or betrayal often signals the beginning of something new. To embrace it, let go of what no longer serves you. Letting go is difficult. It's tempting to stick with what you know, even if it's bad for you. True development, however, necessitates the removal of old weights, much like pruning a garden to create way for new life. This process also requires a change in perspective. Lingering on fear or negativity only confines you. By refreshing your ideas and focusing on optimism, you align with the gifts that are intended for you. Believe in the larger plan. Let go and courageously move into the riches that awaits you. Your voice has the incredible ability to change the world around you. By choosing to express hope, proclaim confidence, and connect your thoughts with a higher purpose, you attract change into all aspects of your life. This isn't only about altering your situation. It's all about unlocking the blessings that have been waiting for you to align. Each word of faith serves as a bridge between your current situation and the great future that awaits you. Letting rid of what no longer serves you is not the end. It's a strong announcement that you're prepared for the next chapter. Let go of the burdens of the past and go ahead with confidence. By accepting this adventure with trust and courage, you will discover that the route ahead has promises bigger than you could have imagined. You allow yourself to live a life full of purpose, richness, and pleasure.